What is up, ladies and gentlemen? High on Life 1012 here, bringing you another My First Story as well as some Black Ops 2 Demolition gameplay. So, story time with High. Well, it's been 3 or 4 months since I last uploaded a My First video, and that was on my first crush. Which, if you haven't already seen, you should probably go check it out, but I'll try my best to do a quick and brief recap of what I had said in that video. I know I definitely mentioned me being in middle school when I began to like girls. Well, one girl in particular, but I ended up getting nowhere with that, so I was basically at square one with no girlfriend, no eventual marriage, and da 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 da. On the other hand, my parents found out about the whole crush business, so needless to say, the summer after that school year was a pretty long one. But I finally got through it. I made it to my freshman year of high school, and I was very excited. And this was going to be a great new chapter in my life, or at least that's what I thought at the time. I already had a few friends at the high school that were juniors and seniors, most of them being people I met through baseball because I made it to the varsity team during my 8th grade year. So it was really no big deal for me when I had to find people to hang out with during school. I even had a few cousins that were there too, so I had my connections down. But anyways, getting back to the whole my first girlfriend story, I joined cross country the first day of high school, and during that practice, I met two individuals that I became really close to during my high school years, and that was my eventual best friend, Baby Blue, and I'll explain that name some other time, and my second cousin, Xavier. So, out of the two, the one who got me started with the thinking about the possibility of having a girlfriend was Baby Blue because during our runs we had gotten to the topic of relationship and girls, which I pretty much had no experience with, but this kid had already started dating in middle school. And everything he talked about in regards to that, it was like, dude, you are the most interesting person in the world. Tell me more. And I mean, seriously, you would have been that star of that commercial if it were to feature a young high school kid. His stories were always mind blowing, and it got me hooked like weed. No, I'm just kidding. But one day at cross country practice, I finally asked him after a few days of talking about all of this relationship stuff, who would you date on the girls' cross country team if you had the choice? Now, yeah, I could have included the volleyball team or, any other girl in the school, but since I was asking at practice and we were just a few yards away from the girls when we were stretching, I had to ask about them. So, since this was the question that was lingering in my mind for quite a while, I already made up my choice because I was pretty sure that he was going to ask the same thing afterwards. So, I asked, and sure enough, he ended up choosing the girl that I had laid my eyes on for the past couple of days, and she was the only senior girl on the team at that time, or at least I think she was. I'm not too sure, but she was the best looking one on the team, so I was pretty surprised, but at the same time, I kind of already expected it. So there was nothing I could do but make another choice, and the next girl that came in mind was this junior who was a brunette. Well, now that I think about it, I think every girl in that school was a brunette. But anyways, the reason why I chose her is that every single day I've seen her, she was always in the best mood, always smiling, and that smile was quite possibly the best looking smile in the school, or at least that's what I thought. So I told him that was the girl I would date, and his response to that was, go for it then. And this caught me off guard because I had no plans on trying to ask any girl out, especially the upperclassmen. That was like off limits to me, but I told him the only way I would ask her out is if he got together with the senior girl that he took from me. No, I'm kidding. But he agreed to it, and a few weeks later, he actually ended up getting with her, which was unheard of to me because I didn't know of anybody that dated a person who was a few years older or younger than them, but it happened, and you know what I had to do next. Asking this girl out sounded a lot easier than I thought, and I know every single time I tried approaching her or talking to her, it turned into one of those, oh, hey, I gotta go, see you later situations, and I just became a nervous wreck around here, but I finally got my chance, and it happened in one of the weirdest ways I could think of. As you know, this was during cross country, so all of this was happening. But yeah, where could I ask her out, or at least get to the point to ask her out? How about the cross country meet that you end up slipping on rocks and cutting open one of your scars again? Yes, that's how it all happened. All I can remember is her passing me when I was looking at my scar, and then I got up, took off, and caught up to her. I then asked her what's up, and she responded with nothing much. Oh my goodness, what happened to your leg? I told her the truth somewhat. Instead of me slipping on some rocks, it was me tripping on something that allowed me to fall onto some rocks. And she was trying to convince me to wave down one of the meet officials, and I just told her, no, I'm fine. I need to finish this race. So after that, I ran to the finish line limping. Now, after the meet was over, she asked if I was okay, and on the ride back, we started talking. From that point on, we talked almost every single day and every single practice, and the way we talked was through note writing. There was no iPhone 4s or 5s, no Galaxy S4s or 5s. Wait, no, it's S3s and S4s. My bad. So we couldn't use those to text each other. Everything was handwritten. So a few weeks go by, and I finally asked her if she would consider going out with me, and of course she was caught off guard by the whole thing, because we did become really good friends, but she was kind of unsure at the time of what, me and her could be, but she eventually said yes. So I finally had a girlfriend. Now, remember, this was my first girlfriend, so of course, looking from the outside in on most of these relationships that I saw at the time, I was thinking, okay, I have a girl now that I can kiss, hug, and hold hands with. So what do I do next? After one of the practices, when we were waiting for her two friends, I end up grabbing her hand and holding it for approximately a minute or two with her saying nothing. And a few days after that, I received a note from her that said our relationship should come to an end, because she thought I was going to go too fast with the whole thing. But I backed up my actions by saying that it was my first time being in a relationship. I had no experience, so I didn't know what to do, and I asked her if she would try it again. And she was a bit skeptical about it, but who wouldn't be? Luckily for me, though, she said that we can try again, and that was pretty much that. We ended up dating for about a year and a half, or well, no, a year and a quarter altogether. And what I mean by that is we were in a on and off type of relationship all the way through her senior year of high school. However, it doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad relationship. I think it was just a matter of how I approached the whole thing, especially considering how I saw relationships at that time. We did have a lot of fun times together. She was a really good person at heart, and everything that I learned from that time helped me become a more refined person in terms of dating. We did remain friends all throughout the years until I was a senior in high school and I left for college. After that, we lost contact, and I know that before I actually came to college, she was in a pretty good relationship, and I think it led up to a marriage. So congratulations to her, and I wish her nothing but the best. I don't know if I gave enough details or if I didn't, but that's all I have on this story. I hope you guys enjoyed, and be sure to check out my other videos if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments section below what other My First stories you would like to hear. In the meantime, I shall talk to you guys later. This is High on Life 1012, and I'm out. Peace.